and gentlemen, on this 5th day of July, in the year 2050, I, Lady Gillespie, am proud to present to you...
Oh yeah. Oh,
Si, senor.
it's all good here on the fireside. We're on the fireside. I will be your host here. My name is Jokey Pens. But with me today, I have James and Jeremy. Welcome, guys. Welcome. Let's all give them a big round of applause.
Thank you for having me.
Yay, another J Day.
It is a continuation. If you've been catching us along over on What an Oddcast, it'll be a continuation of J-Day. So, I just have I have some news here, things that were interesting, things that are weird, and we're gonna go over that today, gentlemen. Are you excited?
Totally pumped.
I'm
super
excited.
ready.
Let's do this.
Gotta drink water. Gotta stay hydrated. Hydrate or dihydrate. So, gentlemen, the first news story I have here, you're gonna find this one great.
What is it? The scene.
So this comes from theguardianbbc.com. We have German court allows murderer to be forgotten online.
Wait, say that again.
Wait, what?
A German court has ruled in favor of a man convicted of a life sentence back in 1982 for killing 2 people on a yacht, has now won the right to have his name removed from any online search. He's been trying this since 2002. Well, he was released in 2002. He's been trying to do this since 2012, and they just now finally allowing him to be able to. He wants to remove his family name from the whole affair and hope to move on with his life and not always be just tied to that. Google fought the case for a long time for freedom of the press and suppressing everyone from knowing knowledge. But now they've won, and he'll be moving on. So that's a thing.
What in the absolute hell?
That is
Well, you understand. I know I killed them. I know I took the gun and I shot them. I shot them, but I know I did. But I mean, it was a long time ago, and I'm ready to just move on. If we could all look the other way, I think we'll all feel much better here. So just don't let me ever be tied to murder, all right? Just move on with it. And he won.
Oh wow.
It took him 7 years, but yeah, he got it. So, how do you feel about that? Just in general, how do you feel about that?
It's so weird.
Well, if it can happen to one, it can happen to more people. And if they're going to start moving towards that, I mean, that's knowing who your enemies are and the people that you can trust and knowing that they're not mass murderers or your neighbor is not a serial killer. I mean, that's kind of fucking important nowadays, especially when we're all starting to cram together in cities.
Well, yeah, you got to think of it from a research perspective, and in all cases, like that's how the internet works. I mean, it's how you know things, like you said, as important as who your neighbor is. But also, like, what if you're doing a paper on things like this and you need the information for it? Like, I don't know. History's also kind of an important thing. So.
All right, gentlemen, and that'll be time. We're going to have that delegated out in the German court. They will be getting back to you in 7 years. To let you know how you feel about that.
I mean, it's also pretty scary because, I mean, if they can do that and people can get that taken off the internet, does it stay in police records?
What, me? No, I never killed those 2 people. Where's the proof? Show it to me.
Exactly.
Show me your proof.
Exactly. Like, I mean, is it going to stay in police records, like fingerprints and all that, or are we going to start moving towards a society where you can commit a murder or something like that and get away with it, or get everything expunged so that way the next time you get arrested for something, they're like, well, don't we know you for some reason? I mean, nothing's coming up, but don't we know you for something? Nope. Nope. Didn't you kill like 4 people back in 2005? I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, and for some reason your name's not popping up in any of my searches. It's like you don't exist.
No, and
Exactly.
he'll still, from what I was seeing, he'll still be registered in the criminal databanks, but he can't be Google searched by some random person to be tied to it. He wants him and his family to move on with their life.
But now is it going to be able for sex offenders like child molesters and all that,
See, that does
to
bring
fight
up
that?
It does bring up that question.
Yeah,
of,
how far
is
are
there
they going to
anyone
let
else
it
that can do
go?
that? Yeah.
Yeah.
This remains to be seen. We'll see what happens. So, again, if you're just joining us now, welcome to Fireside Chat with Jokey Pants. I'm Jokey Pants, and that's Jared and Jeremy. Or, sorry, James and Jeremy.
What?
Sorry,
Welcome to Fireside. This is Jared, and Jared.
Ed, and Eddie. We are continuing on the J Day. If you follow us over on What an Oddcast, we had a J Day the other day, and this is continuing on. Welcome to Fireside. So going on here, I have another one from BBC News, because this one was another one. They caught me off guard the way it was worded. New tweet: Indian food is terrible, and we all just pretend it isn't. Sparks a racism debate.
Did you say new tweet or nude tweet?
New tweet.
Nude tweet says Indian food is awful. What?
Continuing on, the overall, I'm going to break this down for you. In the U.S., immigrants constantly hear and see racist comments on their food. Ethnic food is labeled as cheap eats on the street, lacking any original style or ingredients that they actually would use themselves, but is called their foods, so they're instantly discriminated against, giving the foods wrongful impressions in the U.S. and overall, leading some let's admit it, some racist comments anyway. So, and the way they broke that down is curry is not a style of dish. It's a style of dish, not a flavor. Same thing with chai tea. Chai is just Hindi for tea, so it's not a fucking flavor. They're like, so it's little things like that where somebody will, you have something like this. So it's one of those like mountain out of a molehill kind of thing.
Well, I mean,
So that's why it caught me off guard, because I was immediately like,
What the fuck is
how
this
did
world
this
coming
spark
to?
a giant debate?
I mean, you gotta realize that every single race on the entire planet has a different style of dish and a different style of how to cook things. And I've tried curry and I've tried chai. I've tried both of those. They're really strong in flavor, and I think that's the bad impression that a lot of Americans get, because most of our foods are not that strong, and that's why we deem it as disgusting.
It's because we
but-
simply lack depth and flavor
All
in
right,
our
let's
foods.
get salt and pepper
Right.
on that bitch. All right, good enough for me.
Throw some salt on it. There's your flavor.
Hey, yo, you got some hot salt? I'll throw that shit on there, brother.
I mean, there's
Fuck
like
is that? Is that a
thousands of
basil leaf?
ways.
Fuck,
There's
you look like a
thousands of
rabbit?
ways to make curry, and chai tea is very strong depending on what kind of flavor you get it. Now you can get it mild and you can get it super strong, but still
Yeah,
even the
'cause
mild
It's
is
just regular
strong.
tea.
Well,
The
it's
point,
it's
it's the
pretty
point
rough.
that's made here. The point
It's-
that's made is that it's not an actual flavor. It's literally just tea, but people put it as it's its own flavor, but it's not. It's just another name for tea. Is the point they make there? But again, it's still a mountain out of a fucking molehill.
Yeah, it's
And
just
like, how does
speaking
this
more
spark a
to
giant fucking debate.
the ignorance that is most. No, I can't say most. A lot of people, because you're so ignorant and stuck in your own ways. It's like, oh, yeah, and they have to stir shit. Like
Exactly.
we're constantly
But-
stirring shit, and it just never stops. Ignorance is.
So that one was
Very
fun
prevalent
to
these
sit there
days.
and read. It was really just a giant drama unfolding on Twitter, and I'm just like, this is every day now. This is
Over
like an everyday
food.
occurrence thing now.
I think we've run out of ideas on what to argue about and fight about.
Or what
Oh,
to
social
decide
me-
as
well,
racist
social
or not.
media, man, like-
Now it's food. Food's racist.
Mm-hmm. It is racist.
God.
Speaking of social media, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Hope you'll join us back here at the fireside. Have you ever wanted to know how to contact anyone over at Oddcast? Maybe you want to thank Jeremy for his service. Thank you for your service, Jeremy, over there, looking great. Or maybe you want to hit James up and know where to find any of his other things that he has going on, any of his streams, anything like that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, one place that you can start is oddcastmedia@gmail.com. We also have Oddcast and on Twitter, or Oddcast Network on Facebook and YouTube. Wherever you want to listen, we're there. YouTube, podcast platform, we got you. We're wonderful. We love you. Just kidding. We don't know. Reach out and let us know. James, where can they find you, bud?
We can be found over at ACS_create on most social platforms.
That's fucking wonderful. So now that we have all these informations, Jeremy, thank you again for your fucking service. Don't you dare fight me, I'm telling you. We love you, bud. Anthony, we miss you and hope we get to hear from you soon over on Oddcast. And if you like us, you can always help support the show at Patreon. Oddcast Network on Patreon, patreon.com/oddcast. But back onto that fireside.
We are
So,
on all the
gentlemen-
Twitters.
Yes, gentlemen, all the Twitters. The next one here I have, it's a new health craze. Are you ready to hear about it?
Sure.
Oh God.
Perineum sunning, the new insane health craze where you tan your asshole.
What the fuck?
I wish I was making that up.
Oh, man. No tanning of the balloon knot. What if you sunburn it? You can't even poop after
See,
that.
people are saying with 1 hour of this new sunbathing treatment, laying bare and nude in the sun with your legs spread eagle and kids just bathing your asshole from what I saw. Apparently it helps you gain energy and feel more mobile, but health professionals are saying there's absolutely no benefit of sun damaging your delicates. So please don't do that.
What about the backside of your ball sack? That could be dangerous.
Women, your vaginas will get burned, and your asshole. Guys, you're just burning your ball shaft and asshole. There's no reason to be doing. You're even gonna burn your jungle bridge, your grundle, your however you want to put it.
Bridge?
You're gonna be
I
burning.
mean, it brings
all.
a whole new saying to stick in the sun where the sun don't shine.
Did you ever get wedgied as a kid? Imagine that tenfold, because then you're just gonna walk with that sunburn for a while.
Super chafe.
So no, thank you. I don't know how this got popular, but it has, and people are doing it.
Oh, everybody's
Well-
doing it. See, do.
It's another case
I'm not
of
gonna
any of the
follow
other
that
health
trend.
crazes. Hey guys, do you like making pots out of clay? Well, if you eat it, you'll feel 10 times better. Introducing
What?
edible clay. Like, no. Don't eat clay at all. Stop being
Where's that coming
fucking
from?
children.
China? It came from China, didn't it?
I don't know. I've stopped questioning where any of this is. I don't care anymore.
Ever worried about sunburning your balloon knot?
I haven't.
Get
but
Soul
thank you.
Cream from
Yeah, I haven't, but thank you.
Podcast Media.
God damn it. And don't forget that Patreon, patreon.com/oddcast. I'm just going to keep shouting out because, like, you know,
Yeah, that's important.
do-
It's almost as important as sunburning your balloon knot.
exactly. And I do have a rather important, I guess, I don't know, like, announcement to all of you
PSA?
here. Sure, we'll call it a PSA. I have, if you like us, like, if you like listening to us, do us a favor. Whatever platform you're listening on, just share it out wherever, your Instagram. You can find me on Instagram, too. Jammer_JokeyPants. So you can shout us out on Instagram. You can shout us out on the Twitter. You can shout us out wherever you want to go. Ugh.
All of the Twitters.
But, it's all about word of mouth. So, share it out. Share the love. So I have another
Share
one
the
from
laughs. share the laughs.
Does anybody else think Twitter sounds like a dirty word? Like it's a body part?
I like to Twitter my asshole.
Oh, I sunburnt my Twitter when I was trying to tan my butthole.
I like to. No. You like her to Twitter the balls.
Isn't that twiddle?
No, Twitter.
Is
Just Twitter it.
somebody's eating something? Did you
Jeremy's
bring enough for
having a
everybody,
snack.
Jeremy?
Did you bring? Yeah, share. Pass one around.
No.
I don't see one being shared. I don't. Come on my show. You share with the class.
No.
Ruh-roh.
Swallow it real slow. Real slow.
Sounded like Scooby. What are you eating? Scooby snacks?
Well, like Scoob, just put him down, pass one over. Like, come on. You brought me here, man. I'm not being stingy to you, man. Come on.
I'll be honest, I forgot to mute my mic on that one. I'm sorry.
Welcome to a live version of Fireside. We're doing it all live this week. So India may run first test run of male birth control.
Okay. What's this intel?
I'm glad you. Oh, I'm really glad you asked. It's a non-surgical vasectomy. They call it RISUG. Reversible inhibition of sperm under guidance. An injection behind the dick injects a polymer gel into the vas deferens, which can last up to 13 years. But if you want it reversed, a second injection is made that breaks down the gel and allows you to continue having kids if you want to, and you can get it done whenever you want. And they aim to have it only cost $10 in developing countries.
So about
What the
$1,000
actual-
here.
Yep.
$1,000 per
Just
needle
shooting,
stick.
just blocking up your tube.
Yeah, just go ahead and throw some gel in my ding dong for me. It sounds great.
Hey, you know how the Twinkie looks? I want you to do that to me. Just go for it.
I want my dick to be a Twinkie.
I aimed at my Twinkie and her, but no baby.
I mean, wouldn't that cause like backup and swelling and all
See,
that?
that's what I'm wondering. And what happens if you like fire
No,
off
you
like
see-
a 50 cal and you
Oh, gentlemen.
you
I'm
like you
glad
literally
you-
blow your wad's wad?
That would
Gentlemen,
hurt
I'm
a
glad
lot.
you asked. I'm glad you asked, gentlemen.
Sounds dangerous.
See, the way they do it
Jared's
is
already
the
done it.
gel. The gel blocks off the vas deferens in a way that it doesn't even allow that area to produce any little guys. So,
Oh.
scientifically speaking, you still ejaculate, but it has no actual sperm in it because that part of the body isn't activated to allow it.
So it's just spackle without the swimmers.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
It'd be much the same as if you got an actual vasectomy. They take that part out entirely.
Yeah.
Or if like women getting as people like to sling around, tubes getting tied. That whole thing is the same thing. It's just taking that part away entirely, so it has no reason to do what it's supposed to.
So you can still paint the canvas, it's just not as artistic.
Yeah, man.
Sounds
You
great.
swing the brush around and throw around some paint, but it doesn't stay and it doesn't cause any damage.
That's good.
I'll just
Wash.
wear a condom.
It's a washable paint.
Washable paint. That's a good way to put it. So that's
Dry
something
erase
that's going to be
marker.
coming.
Yeah, there you go.
But they're currently in talks with the FDA. They passed a couple trials already, so now they're looking for the first human test run. So we'll see what happens there. U.S. news. I have one here that I take with a grain of salt just because, as I said, U.S. news, and just because it's a political topic thing that
Oh.
it's going to come from everywhere. And I just have a basic thing going on here. But it ties into some other things we mentioned earlier before on some older episodes there. So, I don't know if you're aware, they have the China having riots, you have South America having riots. Like there seems to be riots breaking out everywhere, literally everywhere at this point. Now there's the ones going on in Iran now, which over in Iran, not unlike China and South America, the protests have allowed. Basically, they've attacked everything that's politically run, so they're burning down banks, citadel, government buildings, and supposedly what's being said is that they blame the U.S. For, shall we say, pulling out of country. So now they're basically rioting up and blaming us, and attacking a lot of their more public buildings. So we'll see what comes out of this. It could be. There's a lot of things that come out of this one, but it seems it's happening everywhere.
So we pulled out and we're still in trouble?
Yeah, basically we're still going to
pull-out method never works.
Yeah, so, but it's the same thing over in Hong Kong. They have all their protesters, and you also have down in, I think it was like Philippines and things, there's riots and protesters going on down there. It's everywhere. Like, man, it's turning into Mad Max. Interesting.
Well, unfortunately, I can't comment on the subject.
Oh, I figured you couldn't. I just wanted to bring that up because it was something we talked about on earlier episodes with some, like, all the riots going on, and I saw that, and I'm like, oh, they're starting there now, too. All right, cool.
Well, for the viewer's sake, if you're wondering why I cannot comment, it's because I'm a soldier, and I have lost that privilege of free speech, and anything political could turn the eye of how the soldiers are viewed. So I will remain silent on anything political that is discussed.
I will say one thing.
I swear to God, if
maybe
it's thank you for your service, I'm going to flip shit.
no,
Thank you for your
no. I don't know. I would like to. Nobody will ever see it, but I would like to hope that maybe one day we would see a lot less finger pointing in this world. And
That was very nice.
thank you for your service.
God damn it!
I'm sorry. If you wouldn't have told me
He
not to,
gotcha.
I wouldn't have done it. But
Smoke break.
yeah, I'm that guy that does exactly what I'm told not to.
Thank you.
I
don't
got in
fuck your
trouble a
sister.
lot growing up. Ooh. Damn.
So, let's finish up with our last story before we get into the round out characters and let us end some free time. So what we got here, I have another one here. I don't know if Jeremy will even be able to really get on this one.
If it's political, I can't, but
Hey, yeah, you might want. Yeah, you just have yourself muted. Put it that way, because this one
Okay.
popped up right before this one popped up as I was finishing up the notes for our stories. I was scrolling through to see if there's one maybe that was gonna pop up, and it kind of tied in with what we just talked about. So James, this one will be directed to you, James.
Sweet.
Fox
Fucking
Business
love
and Yahoo
politics.
Finance both had the same story, which is why, and it wasn't just them. It was Google Business and things popping up everywhere. So I took a look. My opinion, looking a lot like a stock crash. It's looking like a 1930 situation.
Ooh, great.
Because if you haven't been paying attention, because it is a political thing, but if you haven't seen recently, our president has signed the bipartisan with the Hong Kong Human Rights Bill, basically backing the protesters that threaten all the government that is China. And because of that, China has decided, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, you think you come here? Oh, fuck you! And he has stopped a lot of business, which has caused a dramatic drop, a massive hit to all stocks in the country. Considering that there's a lot of things that ship through China because things are cheaper. Let's admit it.
All my tech is gonna go way up in price. It's not
Yeah,
fair.
it is.
It's not
Anything
fair.
that's going that way is going to get hit. So there was quite a bit of a hit there, and in my opinion, and it's my opinion, and Jeremy does not reflect any opinion I have here, but I just think it's looking like a stock market crash again. And because they rely so fucking heavily to use that for their shipping and shit, it's not looking good right now.
Well, it unfortunately
It
makes
shouldn't
the
be
world go
as
round,
bad.
or at least here in the U.S. it does. So
Yeah, it shouldn't. I would hope it shouldn't be as bad as before, because I'm pretty sure we've had other things that have been established to help with this, but that's still something that they use. And all of this is just we're looking at things getting more expensive, just in general for how they like to ship things. Because this isn't going to clear up anytime soon, and it's just, I'm smart. I'm smart enough to know this will not clear up anytime soon, and that things are only going to get worse before they get anywhere near being resolved. So, I'm just that's just my 2 cents.
well, it doesn't help that we have to build some fabricated monetary system. It's fucking, and our whole economy is relying on it. When it takes a shit, everybody else gets to pay for it. America.
But in a case like this, you can work towards something, make something.
Yeah,
That's nice.
it's nice
I don't know,
until
it
you
has-
step on the
it has
wrong
its-
person's dick.
Yeah, see, it has its ups and it has its downs. It's not much different from any other kind of thing. But anyway, moving on.
Well, before you move on, I just want to say if you're
Here we
joining us
go
live,
again.
if you're joining us live,
Thank you for your
you
service.
probably heard that I did not interject onto anything that was politically talked about. That is because I am a soldier and I have lost that privilege of free speech. Now, any speech that has been done or any opinions that are shared by the Fireside crew or Oddcast crew, whichever channel that you listen to, those opinions are those individuals' opinions, and they are not reflecting on the United States Army or how we operate.
Thank you, Jeremy.
For your service.
God damn it.
Well said, though.
You
Well
can't
said.
escape it. So moving on, we have fictional characters.
Yay, something Jeremy can finally talk about.
Yay!
Yay!
And then we'll have a free time because since Fireside will be live here, we're gonna have a little bit of just have some fun with it. So, first character up is called 8-Ball. He uses a Q stick, which is a mechanism inside of what looks like a Q stick, able to magnify any force amplified more than 1,000-fold, then apply it to anything it strike to.
Holy
And-
shit.
Pool balls, explosive pool balls that explode on impact. And he flies on a giant 8-Ball. And his head is a giant 8-Ball. And his suit looks like an 8-Ball.
That's just overkill.
That's a lot of cocaine.
How do you feel about
Somebody
that character?
Somebody snorted a lot of cocaine for that one.
Right?
Not at all. Not at all.
Wow.
That's been 8-Ball.
Fucking interesting. I want that Q stick, though.
There's
Yeah, that
vomit on
Q-stick
his
would be
8-Ball already.
Huh?
What?
What?
Where?
Huh?
Why?
What?
When?
Next character is a bigger character.
Oh
that
my god.
I think some people may
understand now.
like. Oh, what do you understand now?
I understand what you just said. Oh my god.
I don't think he did. I'm pretty sure he's doing this to make me look like even more of an ass. So go ahead, Jeremy. What do you got? What do you got?
I don't even think I can say it without getting
got?
demonetized.
Oh no, go ahead, Jeremy.
Oh my god.
Just say the name. Say the name of what I was doing.
You. I'm just gonna put it in terms of sexual fantasy with 8-Ball.
No. Wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wrong.
Yeah. There's already some throw up on that Q stick.
No, wrong. Jeremy's going in the wrong direction. He doesn't even understand what he's doing anymore. God damn it, Jeremy. So the next character is a DC character. And as I said, he's a bigger character that, DC comic fans would know. Or at least I would hope if you read DC Comics. Anyway, Necron. The living embodiment of death itself. The giver of the Black Ring. He can resurrect the dead and can kill anyone or thing with one touch and has even survived attacks from everything considered what would be like the god of gods. I have not been able to kill him, but he can kill them in one touch and then resurrect them. Necron.
Necron?
Yes.
I've
That's-
never heard of him.
That's just the Grim Reaper putting on a fucking cape.
Yes.
The
Basically, he's basically
He's a
like he's
DC
basically the living
comic book
embodiment
person.
and living embodiment of the Grim Reaper.
that makes sense. I mean, that's kind of what his
Yeah, he
description
had
is, but still.
He had an entire storyline called Blackest Night, where he basically everybody was dying and getting killed, and he just was making a zombie fucking army out of them. Because he can kill you, then bring you back to life. So,
Sounds like a
and
neat
he
character,
made-
I guess.
and I'm pretty sure if I remember right, he made his own Black Lantern, and that's how that all started. Was there was some dude that gave himself to him, and he became the only Black Lantern. They're necromancers.
Well, I mean, who doesn't want to sleep with death?
Right?
No, you're thinking the Marvel version of Death, where it's a chick that Deadpool keeps wanting to fuck. But this one is a scary, literal Grim Reaper looking man.
Again, who doesn't want to sleep with death?
I don't. It's just a lot of
Well,
bones
us soldiers, we do. We sleep with death every day.
That's been Jeremy, folks. And that's been 8-Ball and Necron.
You could have chose a better name, to be honest.
Yeah, probably.
8-Ball.
8-Ball's pretty
His
cool.
name is 8-Ball.
Necron, though, I think could have been better.
No, Necron. Yeah, Necron.
Necron, you think that
could've
could have been
chosen a
better? Why is
name. Yeah,
that? Why is
because
that?
every time you say Necron, I just think of somebody with a really huge swollen neck.
I hate you.
I'm just saying.
Necron.
That's the first thing that came to mind.
Did you see
when
Ron's
said
neck?
that
It's
You know
like
what
he's
it
been taking
reminds me
steroids or
of?
something.
Yep.
In the context of what Necron is, it reminds me of Necrocomicon.
No, not
Necron.
me. Just
Necrocomicon.
somebody with a super huge neck. Is he a giraffe or is he just buff neck?
He's a fucking giraffe.
Buff neck man, dude. Bro.
So, gentlemen, we're going into Oddcember, which is over at Oddcast. You can catch us over on What an Oddcast, which is every Monday. We record every Monday, so we can have it out every Tuesday and Friday. We also have the fireside chat that we have here, which these will be going live when we do these, and this we'll let you know more about that. But over on the podcasting platforms, you can find us every Wednesday and Saturday. But we do want to thank you for stopping by in the fireside, and we're going to be getting into some free talk. But Jokey Pants signing off here. So, gentlemen, now that we have come to this point, we're getting into Oddcember over on all the Oddcast stuff. So with that, we're going to be doing all much like we did with Oddtober, where it's all horror movies and shit. Because I don't do fucking Christmas. I don't like Christmas movies, and people overhype it. I don't know. It's whatever to me. I'd rather talk about the scary shit, so that's what we're going to be doing.
Perfect.
Outstanding.
Right, thank you. Which with that, I actually have a recommendation. Actually, I've been debating this all day. It's more of like, as we've been calling it, a RAM, which is like a recommend or a scram. And I watched Little Monsters on Hulu. It was not as advertised. I was so confused.
Why is that?
Little
As
Monsters.
he slowly dies.
Not Little Monsters that was way back. That we had Howie Mandel as the monster and the kid, and he goes into the monster world. Not that one.
Yeah,
This
that
one is a
Frank
Hulu
Savage
movie.
in it or whatever.
Yes.
Fred Savage.
Fred
Yeah.
Savage. Fred Savage. Yeah. But no, this one was a Hulu movie about zombies and a bunch of kids that are at like a petting zoo thing, and they're learning about animals, and then the zombies come in, and it's like, okay, kids, well, we're gonna have to. I don't know, but it wasn't how they advertised it. It was actually started as some dude that we follow throughout the movie. So it's like a rom-com, but they added zombies and this field trip to make it funny for the comedy part. But then it's all about him getting with the teacher, and I was so confused.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it
Because
was
that's
actually
not
an
how it
alright
was
movie.
advertised.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was so offbeat.
There was
man.
nothing about a love story anywhere in any trailer they showed for this fucking thing. So
No,
it comes out of left field to be the main premise.
Wow.
Yep, because at first when you're sitting there, you're watching the advertisement, it literally just shows like a teacher trying to keep her school kids in
Yeah.
line and all that, and keep them sane during a zombie apocalypse. And then you go to watch the movie, and it's just an entire movie about one dude who's failed at life trying to get with a teacher.
Yep. Yeah, he
That's
drops off.
fucking
Spoiler
ridiculous.
alert for the entire movie here. He drops off his nephew at the school, and then the teacher's hot, and he's like, "All right, oh yeah," and then somebody drops out. He's like, "Well, I could be your person to go with you on the field trip tomorrow. That's fine. Yeah, give me time to get close to you. You know what I mean?" And then it's just the zombies come out of left fucking field, and they really do. It's just thrown in there.
Yep.
Because it's just you're the next minute you're at this base with two people riding around down in these bottom tunnels, and then it's like, oh no, the zombies got free, and I'm like, where the fuck was this talked about at any point in this movie beforehand?
Right.
Zero context.
And then
Zero
within like 5
context.
minutes, somehow they managed to take over the entire military base and then just storm out. And then they just see a sign that says petting zoo several miles away. So then they just started walking down the road.
The
And
fucking
then it just cuts right back to the field trip.
the
Oh, Jesus.
parts that really made me laugh were Mr. McGiggles. The fat dude who's running the childhood show thing, because he gets trapped there, and just some of his dialogue was fucking great. It's like, I fucked so many moms. Single moms, married moms.
Fuck so many zombies. Zombie
Old
moms.
moms, young
Teacher
moms.
zombie moms.
Black moms, lesbian moms. Eventually it just doesn't do anything. It doesn't fill the void. And then the dude's not paying attention. He just bitch slaps our main character. He's like, hey, listen to me. I'm confessing all my shit here.
This movie sounds odd, indeed.
It is
Oh
so
my God, it
fucking
is.
weird. By the end of it, the zombies know how to sing. The whole thing at the base was that they go
What?
over really briefly that the zombies can't be controlled. But then when she's singing the songs to the kids while they're driving very slowly on a tractor to be saved,
Is it the soundtrack
the
from
zombies
Frozen?
are singing along.
Yep. And the kids are just hitting them with little sticks and baseball bats or wiffle ball bats. No,
What
no, don't stick your hand in
fucking-
here.
When they cross the line of soldiers, and then they drive by, and he's like, no, it's just music, just play some music, and they're fine, just play some music. Open fire, and then they
Yeah, they just kill
there's
all the
this
zombies.
brief pause, he's considering it, huh. Alright, open fire. They just blow them all down, and just a non-stop mirage of all the zombies being ripped apart by gunfire. So fucking weird.
Does he get the girl?
Yes, he does.
Okay, the movie's perfect.
The absolute last 5 minutes, the parents of the kids are concerned and all that, and then the main character's sister is freaking out because her son is in there, and they're like, yeah, they're all fine, they're in decontamination, you can't touch them for about 48 hours or 72 hours or whatnot, they're going to stay in contamination, but you can go and see them. You just won't be able to physically touch them or hold them. And then they show up and they're all playing music and all that and jumping around and in this makeshift tarp
Everyone
tent
happy singing
in the
Taylor
middle
Swift.
of singing Tay Tay, just sitting there in this makeshift tarp tent with guards around them.
Yep.
Sounds like
It was
had
an
a pretty
interesting one.
serious budget. Couple direction changes throughout the movie. Sounds pretty solid.
Happy end, you
Yeah.
know, and clap your hands. Yeah.
Hey Jeremy, you know what I watched this morning?
What?
You know what I watched this morning?
Mandalorian?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I still haven't. Don't judge me. They finally released the 4th episode.
Yes, yes. They release episodes every Friday, so I watch that now. God, it's fun.
I know what episode it's on, and I still haven't watched any of them.
Same here.
Like I just,
I need
you know what?
to.
I realized for real. I realized what it is that keeps me watching. Is it really is the way because they're doing it week by week.
Baby Yoda.
No, it's
Baby
not
Yoda.
Baby Yoda. It is not Baby Yoda.
It's Baby Yoda.
Baby Yoda.
Baby Yoda is enjoyable, but that's not the reason. The thing is, every episode there's a major problem. He solves whatever fucking thing he's involved in that episode. And every episode, randomly, you always know it's about to end when they're leaving a situation. Like, everything's resolved and he's in a ship or whatever. As soon as you see him leaving, it ends. And it's just like, what are they going to get into next? I don't fucking know. He's a bounty hunter. He just kind of goes wherever. Tune in next week. And I'm like, what the fuck? There's not even a hint of what the fuck's coming next.
Yeah, no
Like, wonder
cliffhangers?
Everyone wants to watch.
I'm sure there will be a cliffhanger like mid-season or towards the end of the season where he's like trying to save Baby Yoda or something like that.
I say you got to have a mid-season cliffhanger.
Honestly, for me...
Was Baby Yoda in it?
Oh, Baby Yoda's in every episode.
Fuck yes.
Baby
Except
Yoda.
The first one is the only one he's not in till the very end, but that's because he comes in then. But it was still fun watching up to that point. And it's still fun for the same reasons of the mystery of you don't know much about him, you don't know much about you don't know much of anything at all, but the shit that he's getting into trying to figure everything out is fucking very enjoyable, and I love it. So I don't think they have to change the formula of it at all, because they're doing it weekly for that exact reason. But the way they're doing the show fits perfectly for a weekly show, because it's just like, okay, he's in some shit. Hey, it's figured out. All right, now what's he gonna get into? I don't know. We'll figure it out when we get there. He's a bounty hunter. He knows all places and goes all over. Let's see what shit he gets into next, and it's fun. So I do enjoy it. But
I'll be checking
Little
it out soon.
Monsters. Little Monsters, you can check that out if you want, but be warned, it is a rom-com with zombies. It's not how it seems. It was very strange. But I think with Odd Summer, to end out the episode, I think I'd want to talk about, because me and Anthony, when we did Oddtober, we did a whole bunch of horror movie stuff. So who's your guys' favorite, like, horror movie, we'll say, evil protagonist?
Ooh.
I don't know if I could pick I don't know how specific I could get. I don't know. That's hard. Could you answer that question? Like, honest, and be honest with yourself in answering it?
See, but maybe I did make it too vague, because I'm...
Mm-hmm.
Like, it'd be so hard
We'll
to choose.
We'll start in a specific subcategory. Favorite slasher. Because honestly, my number one is probably Freddy, it's just fun. I find them just fun. But then my one that's more like just for the pure like creative goriness of it, I go Hellraiser. Most people say Jigsaw and Saw, but no, I'm going Hellraiser because that demon fucks with people and they do some interesting shit, so it's fun. It's fun for that.
I'm a big Voorhees fan.
Oh, you're like Anthony then.
I like the eerie, mysterious silence and one-minded. He's like he's on one-way highway, and that's it.
Oh yeah, his reaction to like someone saying anything or hitting him, like just his non-verbal reactions are always the best.
Right?
Like you know what he's thinking, but he just because then he brutally murders them half the time while he's giving them that cue. So no, yeah, Jason's a fun one.
I
Jeremy,
feel
what
like
about you?
Jigsaw's more of psychological, so in my mind, he would be in a different category. That's why I was glad you got specific, because he's my probably my overall favorite, or really close, just because of how smart he is.
Interesting.
I
Jeremy,
would,
what about
I would
you?
have to go with Jason just for slasher, just because, he's a fucking tank.
Yes, super tank.
But I mean, if I'm gonna go with like my number 1 and number 2, they're gonna be the Predator and the Xenomorphs.
Oh yeah, that's true.
This sparked so much debate with me
Ooh.
and Anthony because he was like, I don't know. We didn't know if either of those counted because they're technically sci-fi counted as well because they're aliens.
Yeah, but they're
Like,
also
alien
technically
aliens.
horror.
Yeah, they're
And-
technically horror.
And when you look at it,
both movies caused a lot of like PTSD
Anxiety.
trips and anxiety when they first came out, just because I mean it's something pretty much unstoppable.
Yep,
Especially
I'm
with,
never
like,
going to the jungle
childbirth.
again. I'm never going into space. I'm never...
well, like
It's
it's
just-
just Alien 1 is a horror sci-fi, but then you go to Alien 2, and it suddenly turns into like video game action comedy with the aliens in it. It's like what? But they're both great, but they're both great for completely different reasons. Like there's no if I were to show somebody Aliens and they had never seen Alien, I've seen people love Aliens and not even have any fucking idea there was another movie, but they don't like horror, so they watch that first one and they're like, "No, man, that was like terrifying." But like the other one, like they're just kicking ass and taking names and like shit. And I'm like, "Yeah, see, they're completely great for completely different fucking
Oh yeah,
reasons."
and
Like,
every single one, in like every iteration of either Predator or Alien has like the tone has shifted over the years so many fucking times you can't even keep count.
See, that's why with Predator, I really just like if I say if I'm talking Predator, I'm talking Arnold Schwarzenegger, the first Predator.
Yeah, that's
I found
yeah.
out a fun fact with that one that I found out recently when I saw some reviews and things on some other channels that I watched that I like. They were talking about Predator, and apparently Van Damme was supposed to play the alien, and they had this entire like look like an ant grasshopper thing layout for it, and he was supposed to like fight them, but it was too hot and didn't work right, and Van Damme couldn't be there the whole time anyway, so they ended up just scrapping the entire idea, had the suit that ended up getting used made, and then they didn't have it in the entire movie because it wasn't finished yet, so that's why he's only in the end of the movie, because they didn't have a suit.
Well, it worked out for him. Like
But
huge fucking kudos
supposedly-
for pulling that shit off.
Supposedly, the original suit was used for any of the invisible Predator scenes. They just had the suit that they weren't going to use set in for that, and then they'd edit it out and do what they did there. And then at the end, they had the suit that they finally got finished in put on the guy.
And there you have it, the iconic Predator character.
Right? I thought it was
Built from the
fucking
ground up
cool.
during production.
Yep.
That's
Oh, yeah,
crazy.
Predator's a great one on its own too. Just for, like, man, like every character has like the way it's put best is like it literally it does have that feeling of like this is a bunch of like commando dudes that have been with each other for a while, because like you get once you get them all in that situation, the way they react to each other is like, I know how you're gonna react here, I know what you're doing there, and they just like, they work together well, and then this thing just comes out of nowhere and picks them off individually because they work well together. Like knowing what each of them's going to do. It's like, damn, that is a terrifying situation. If, like in Jeremy's case, if you being in that situation, that's fucking terrifying. This thing knows how to tear apart your team just by analyzing how you act to every situation.
Yeah, because I mean, it's like the ultimate. Both of them are like the ultimate killer. Like they're
Exactly.
the ultimate
That's the best
prey.
part.
Because, I mean, you got one on one hand that'll sit there and absolutely destroy you and knows combat and tactics far more advanced than we currently know, and then you got another that is almost impossible to stop. You can't fight it hand to hand because either way you're going to get destroyed with every slice that you make or every shot that you make. If you're close range, I mean, you're just going to have the acid splattering all over you, and it just eats through everything.
The one
Alien?
common thing
Alien or
between the
Predator?
two is
Alien.
their stealth. Like they are
Yes.
both so high
God, yeah.
efficiency and stealth, it's insane. It makes me wonder how either of them could even, like when they do like the Alien versus Predator shit, it's like one has to actively hunt the other, and typically
does.
it'd be the Predator hunting the alien, but it's like they're
Now,
both
I do want to say though,
stealth freaks, man.
I don't care for the AVP movies that much.
I thought they could have been worse. Honestly, I thought it was
I-
gonna be
I-
some B flick flop, but I
the
I
first
enjoyed it for what
one
it
is-
was
The first one's okay.
because it's not canon
It's
really
it's
either.
like a Freddy. It's slightly less better to me than Freddy vs. Jason, only because Freddy v Jason was like, it was like the comic-y Freddy that had just come to be established, and then the tank voiceless Jason that we'd always know, and it's like you couldn't have gotten much different than what it was for what you wanted. But then when it came to AVP, we're like, I don't think you needed the people as much.
No,
Yeah,
I don't think they
I
should have
it could
involved
been
humans.
the team finding them, and then them just getting wiped out by aliens, and the predators being like, "Oh, this thing," and then the whole movie's them duking it out, and maybe have the backstory that they raised him.
Well,
But
see,
you
and
don't
that
need
would
the
be
people to do it.
the biggest
Like,
difference
goddamn it.
between the two would be that you would almost have to make the predator the main character because the alien itself doesn't really have a personality. Like it's not a humanoid kind of thing. You know what I mean? So it's like, what are you
Yeah.
going to follow them through all the little holes and cracks that they're crawling through while they're, stealthing around? Well, at least the predator has some like personality and characteristics, and he, it's more humanoid. So you could have left out all the humans and just followed one of their warriors from the get go.
I
You
mean,
know,
that's
as
a
it being a
subtitle
test,
movie
you
I
know?
would watch.
Fuck
like,
yeah.
that's a subtitle movie I would watch.
Absolutely.
I mean, just the background of the predator, showing him in his society, and then showing him actually going on the hunt. I mean,
Hell
you get
yeah.
to learn more
Like a
about the
legitimate
Predator.
backstory, kind of, or
Oh,
like
God,
how
that would
they
be
came
Oh
to
great.
it.
God, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I always wanted from it, but I can't say I was like overly disappointed because I knew what it was. Like I knew it wasn't canon. It wasn't ever meant to be what more than what it was. But the one thing you hit the nail on the head with I think that could have lacked human intervention completely, because it's supposed to date back way before that anyway. So why the fuck would you involve humanity in it in the first place?
Right. I mean, they've gone downhill with the AVPs. Like, I mean, none of it makes any sense other than they did tie in the second movie, I think. Yeah, the second
Yeah.
movie into the actual third movie, which there's no tie-in between the first movie and the second and third. It's just like it's a complete different genre at that point, or a different storyline.
The alien predator hybrid thing had me super excited until
See,
it
I was the
disappointed the
same
shit out of
way.
me.
Yeah.
And then I was
Yeah.
like, God damn it. Where's my reboot with subtitles like you said, Jeremy? That's what I want.
It just, cause seriously, the end of that first movie, when I saw that he was gonna have a little predator alien baby, it was like, oh well, that could be a cool concept. But then you watch that movie and it's just, they make the movie really dark, which means that the CGI was fucking terrible because they didn't want to make a bull suit that made it look as good as the others. It's
Yep.
like this movie overall took a giant shit because nobody thought this out. It was just a cash grab, which is sad.
Yeah, that's
But you see cash grabs happen all the time. And can I just say, when it comes to horror movies, can we stop making sequels or prequels, but name them the same fucking thing as the other movie? The Thing?
prequel sequels.
John Carpenter's The Thing was a remake of another movie, The Thing from Planet 9, right? Anthony would know if he was here. I'm drawing a blank on it, but he always reminds me of it. Which is why I like having him around, but he's not available, as I've said before. He's moving into his new house this weekend. But love you, Anthony. But it was a remake of that movie, and he called it the John Carpenter's The Thing. Well, then they made a movie just a couple years ago there called The Thing, and it was the same exact movie, but they're like, no, it's a prequel. It's the team before that team that they talked about in that movie. It's like, okay, then call it something else. Like, why the fuck does it have to be The Thing again? But it's a prequel to John Carpenter's The Thing. Like, go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. And they did the same thing with Halloween last year, where it's like, okay, yeah, it's a sequel, direct sequel to Halloween. What are we calling it? Calling it Halloween. All right, man, let's do it. Like, no, Stop this nonsense.
Yeah, that's how you confuse consumers too.
Mm-hmm.
But it's that way everywhere, especially going from other countries and whatnot. It's all bad. So no, so Predator and Alien, we got some Freddy in there, we got some Jason in there, we got, man, this has been fun.
Yeah, it's been a
Well, good.
productive one.
So that'll be in All in Odd December. We'll have more of that kind of stuff. We're gonna do more of like the slashers and shit like that. Well, guys, until next time, from all of us here at Oddcast, thank you for listening to Fireside Chat. And check us out at What an Oddcast next week. We'll be coming back with you Monday night, Tuesday morning, whichever you prefer. I do it that way so you have it for the next morning. But I'm Jokey Pants, a.k.a. Jared Minikheim. That's James. That's Jeremy. You can hit us up on Oddcast Network on Facebook or YouTube, the @Oddcast, and on Twitter. We have patreon.com/Oddcast. You can help support the show so we can keep doing more things. We have a few more things planned and coming along. But until next time, stay odd, stay safe. I know I'm fucking not all there today. I am quite comatose from yesterday.
Turkey
I ate
coma.
way too fucking much. Because I'm a fat American. But I love y'all. Bye.